So, The Last of Us. Um, in between the Star Wars, I guess we'll just talk about The Last of Us.
Well, I mean, Star Wars has more games, and The Last of Us is like one good game, and the second one, apparently. I really liked Jedi Fallen Order. I think that one's probably a lot better than The Last of Us. Just actually gameplay wise, story wise, Last of Us is better. But are you talking about the TV show?
Yeah, I'm talking about the TV show. You know it. Stop.
I
Why,
really,
why would I talk about the video game?
I've been enjoying the show. There's not really anything wrong with it. It's beautiful. They show. I wish they showed more of like American beauty, especially during the apocalypse. But they just did that now when they were out in the Colorado wilderness. You get to see all the mountains, snowfall. It was very beautiful. And I wish we got to see more of that. But it is still nice to see like, what is it, Massachusetts in rubble. That was very nice to see. But overall, I love Joe and Ellie. Pedro Pascal does an amazing job, and I liked in this episode.
Yeah, we're talking about episode 6.
Yeah, in this episode, you felt that he was old. I do feel like it came out of nowhere, like him starting to act his age. But still, it was still very nice to experience that, him having heart problems.
Okay.
Him having heart problems.
Oh, that's what's
him,
going on?
Yeah, that's why he was like clenching his chest.
Oh, shit, I missed that point.
He's probably having a panic attack also, a little bit.
Oh, okay. I didn't know. He was just like, he went it off, and he was like, oh, I can't do this. And he just like freezed. I didn't know what was going on. Like, I kind of got an idea of like, something was going on until you told me, oh, his body. I was like, oh, his body, he's old. I mean, up until that point, he act pretty much like 20-year-old. Like, he's a badass.
Well, from what we've seen from him, in like, was it Sicario? I think he's in. He's also in The Kingsman, and he's in The Mandalorian, and he plays an action hero. Okay. And so like seeing him as like an old man when he doesn't play an old man, it's very interesting. And I could not see it until this moment because the show played a lot heavier emphasis on the fact that he's older and that he's scared of losing Ellie because he doesn't feel like he can protect her.
I think that's like just mainly episode 6.
Yeah.
Well, they did mention he had like hearing problem. They censored on like previous episodes.
Yeah, but that's just from shooting guns or like, ear protection.
Yeah. Also, do you know how old he is? Did you look up?
I want to say he's in his 60s.
You don't know.
No.
Me neither. I haven't looked up either, but you were like in the middle out of nowhere. You were like, "Oh, I wonder how old he is."
Well, I was wondering how old Pedro Pascal was.
Yes.
And you said he was like 50 something.
I was guessing a solid mid-50, just because Hollywood people, they tend to look way younger. Just by look, I would say he's like
47.
40. Oh, so he is 40.
You're really good.
Oh yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he's like 50. 47. That's very near 50.
It was very nice. The show was great too because Ellie found out about Joel's daughter, and that hasn't been brought up, and it was kind of pushed to the side because it didn't really. But it was kind of a good thing that was pushed to the side. Like she found out, they talked about it, and then they moved on because it really just feels like them. They're like they trust each other enough to like something comes up, they talk about it, it's done, and that's a good relationship.
Also, is anything sticking out in episode 6 that you want to talk about?
There was not any action in this one.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, there was action in every other episode except for this one. This one's more about the bonds, and I guess like the fear of separation between Joe and Ellie was probably
anxiety's kicking in.
No, I don't have separation anxiety, but I say their dilemma was the main focal point of the show. I like when there's action. It would have been nice, but I think it really does show how safe this village is.
Um,
What about the village?
the village. We want to talk about the utopia idea.
Oh, like communism?
Uh,
It was funny because like they were explaining to Joe and Ellie, and the wife went, "Oh yeah, it's communism." And Joe's brother, I can't remember his name, he was like, "No, it's not like communism." And she's like, "No, it is." And you just see him in the background have like a kind of like realization, and like, he's just like a little mad.
okay, the thing about communism, the theory is true communism only works on paper. In practice, it will indefinitely fail. That was my worry when watching the show. I felt the tension in between the two brothers. I was so scared that maybe one moment like the society's gonna like clap or something. But
No.
I'm glad they didn't go down that route. Like they didn't dip into. I was so scared.
They didn't show any signs of like the society even being in trouble. Everything was safe. Like they were isolated.
So
They had a good border patrol. They had children just without
Yes.
weapons. That's a big thing because if you look at stuff like The Walking Dead and even Ellie in this, all the kids outside, they have weapons. They are trained to fight. But kids here are protected, and so they don't need to learn that thing so quickly.
okay, about the cure. Do you think if everybody was cured, the society would be able to go back to how it ran? Especially the communist little village. How are they gonna be able to like?
No. So I think what would happen. So if you did have a cure, it wouldn't cure the world. It would just make the people be unable to be infected. So the zombies would still be out there. They would still pose a threat.
So they're gonna slowly kill off the fungi.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like because of what we know about the history of The Last of Us, the fungi doesn't really die out. It just keeps growing. So they would have to just burn it all and just kill all the host. That's how you get rid of it. But at the same time, there's a possibility that the fungi could just
Come back.
mutate again.
Oh,
But-
season 2?
No, God, I don't want a season 2. But to continue, what would society be like afterwards? Like, yeah, you would have, again, the government is still there. It's broken up because of communication problems. And so you would have all these different factions. Most likely, we would just go back to like a state system. And each state would be like its own country because that's what it feels like. And then, slowly just like probably go back to the way it was because so many people who lived in that democracy of the old United States are still alive, still running things, and they would most likely just come and like team up and then just like fight for resources here and there, saying like, this is our land, we had it before, we want it back, type of thing. The commune, they would probably be protected a little bit. They'd probably be left alone for a very long time, but most likely they would probably have like an Amish thing going on. Like the kids would be like, oh, I don't want to live in the village anymore, let me leave. And then you just have to deal with that whole thing.
Can we talk about the horse?
You like horses?
No, the one in the very
Oh
end.
yeah. The very, very end, I spotted. It was so prevalent. It was just like in my face. It took me out of the scene a little bit because Ellie was like crying. Joe got shot, and Ellie was crying. Spoilers, but
Heavy spoilers.
and
in
then
this entire
you just
episode.
see the horse stand still. Its hind leg is propped up, so you know it's fake. And it's like,
I wouldn't believe it. We had to backtrack. I was like, what do you mean the horse is fake?
I guess like most likely they couldn't get the horse to sit still, and it would just like run off.
Yeah.
And like the only way to get like really stay still would be like to like tie a cord to it to the train tracks. And you have to see that, and then it would probably freak. I don't know. That's so weird that they would just use like a
The freaking
a doll.
horse had one leg.
just propped up
Yes.
the entire
and
time.
just-
Good
It did
20
not.
seconds.
Oh, okay. That was fun. Last closing lines of any sort. Looking forward to episode 7. I mean, 7 is out. We just haven't watched it.
Oh wait.
What's up?
Yeah, okay. I was going to talk about the last episode, but
That was 6.
yeah.
Have you seen 7? Without
Oh
me?
wait. No, we missed a whole bunch.
Whole bunch.
The college.
What college?
They run in.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
yeah,
where they
yeah.
go. They leave
Okay.
the settlement and they go to the
Oh
college.
yeah, 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 yeah. That part, that part. Well, how could we not remember?
So no, I thought we were going to see. I really thought we were going to see the giraffes. I thought this is the giraffe moment, but no, it's at the. I think it's at the hospital at the very end. That's what the game thing. I think it's from the game. I was really hoping to see some giraffes. We saw some monkeys. That was nice.
That was not nice.
You don't like monkeys? You don't like baboons?
No, not like the monkeys. I thought it was gonna be, oh, this is the area boss, and then we're just two monkeys, and then
You know what? There is action. There is.
Yes.
There's just a little bit.
Yes,
Just a little
yes,
bit.
yes.
Just a little tussle.
Ah, that's why I was questioning you. I was like, no actions, like.
Yeah, at the very end, they squeeze some in. They squeeze some action in.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
And Joel gets
That's
stabbed,
how
and that's how he gets hurt.
yeah. I don't think he's gonna die.
No,
No.
of course not.
Yeah.
He
Dude.
dies by in a cabin getting his head caved in.
Yo, how is that how?
Yeah, that's how
Really?
in the game. Yeah.
Dude, I did not. Okay.
Well, it's not like you're gonna
I'm-
play it. The game's been out for a while.
I didn't see the very end. Let's say that.
No, it's not at the very end of the game. It's in the second game, the start of the second game.
Oh, what the heck?
Yeah, that's how they start it. They start by Joel getting his head caved
Oh,
in.
no wonder why. But okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
oh
why
my
we made it.
God. Why? That's awful.
Yeah.
For what reason?
Just to
Insert new character.
make Ellie the lead. I mean,
Oh
he's
my God.
because this is years later, right?
Uh-huh.
Ellie's like in her 20s now,
Oh.
so Joel's a lot older.
Uh-huh.
And I think it gives I think like the whole main issue with the story, what is it? The theme of the game is our actions and like revenge and stuff like that. And so this sends Ellie on her path to get revenge. And by getting revenge, she breaks up and destroys so many other lives by killing all these people. Cuz like one thing is that they every enemy has a name.
Dude, how much do you know about this second game that you never played?
I just know
This
a lot.
is bizarre.
And that's why I never played it. Because-
This is how we ruin things.
no, I mean it was good knowing it. I know the story. I know
Oh
the
my
story a little
God.
bit. And there's like more
Okay.
stuff, but
Okay, I'm not into revenge type of stuff. Yeah, where were we? At the hospital. Yeah, I was upset the second time.
college,
It was it was people. I thought I was so excited for an area boss. It did not show up.
no. An area boss. Those two could not fight an area boss. They could just run away.
Oh yeah, that's another thing that's different from the show and the game. In the game, obviously, you're a character that is OP, so there's a lot more actions, more bizarre monsters. I remember, like, I felt like in the game you take on more than one mutants at a time, but in here it's kind of just
Because
like
the shooter.
mostly people that they've been shooting at. I felt like.
Yeah.
You think it's the CGI cost too high? No idea.
I don't know. Maybe they don't want to feel like they're The Walking Dead by having a whole bunch of zombies.
That makes sense.
Right? You have a whole bunch of creatures. They're the ones fighting. But I mean, this is years later. Most of the spores have moved towards the cities, towards the large population, and right now they're like way in the north in the cold. So most likely no spores go up there, because they couldn't survive.
Yeah, that's another thing we talked about. The temperature probably helped protecting people. I think we're run out of things to say. Do you got anything else to say?
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Thank you. It's a new channel, and I think we're gonna continue review Last of Us with both of us. Does that make sense?
Yeah, if you can get me when I'm like on the bed laying down, you can get
When
me
you're
to talk.
chill.
Yeah, you can get me to talk.
I'll give you a massage to
Nah.
bribe you next time.
Yeah, just
Get you all chilled up.
I got a pain in my neck.
Oh, pain in the neck. I got pain on my back.
Such is life.
Such is life. All right, thank you guys. Like and subscribe.